So, can you hear me? Um, this is the assignment for my final exam. If you can see here, I have first ticket. I'm working on the first ticket. The first ticket is the first ticket here is is sprint one. That is the first ticket. The first ticket is sprint one. Then our goal in this first ticket, that is an objective. We are going to develop a class. Sorry, we are going to develop a database interface class. Then we will now create a random monster data with a monster monster library. Then after that, we will populate the database with at least 1,000 monsters. So that is what we'll be doing on this sprint one. That is first ticket. So in the light of this, we are going to start working on the data.py. That is where our work is. Then before that, let's look at our guidance. Our guidance here is we need to create a database interface. Like I said earlier, that's our objective. This database interface will allow you to seed a collection with a specified number of documents. That's what we're going to be doing. Then we will reset the collections by deleting all documents, count the number of documents in the collection, and then we generate a data frame or HTML table HTML table representation of the collections document. So that is what we are going to be doing. So it uses the Mongo client library to connect to a MongoDB database. So what it's trying to tell us now is we are going to use Mongo database to connect to create a database. Sorry, we are going to use a Mongo client to Mongo client library to connect to a Mongo database DB. That's what we're going to be doing. So when we have done that, then we are good to go. So for us to be on the safer side, we are going to sign up for the MongoDB account so that we can create a shared cluster. On this, we'll be dealing with free tier. Then we'll now add our IP address to allow local list. Then we copy the connection string into our .mv file. Then that is what we're going to be doing now. So let's quickly move into our data.py. That is where we have the work to do. Now, inside the data.py, for what I have done so far, we will import all the dependencies. And one of the dependencies we're going to import the OS, the get MV, that the environment, virtual environment, we're going to import it. So we will import it. Then we will also import certified where, as in, yes, we're going to import all of that. Then we also import .mv load.mv. So we're going to load that our .mv URL. We're going to load it. That is what .env is. Then from the Bloomtech Monster Lab, we're going to import the monster. So that is what we're going to do. Then pandas and data frame. We're going to import pandas also. That has to do with our data frame because we are asked to do a data frame or HTML. Then our Mongo imports. So we're going to import the Mongo client. So that's all we're going to be doing. So from the first objective, we are asked to create we are asked to create database class interface, and this is what it is. So we're creating database interface for Mongo operation with Monster Lab data. So that's what we're going to do. So you can see here, I loaded my .env, which is here. You can see from this place. Okay, see my .env file. My .env file here. See my Mongo URL. So to interest you most, so this is it. This thing was gotten from my MongoDB, where I created a cluster 0. So that was what I did to get this. So we are loading it. So when you go, we are loading this thing. We are loading this thing, this .env. So after loading it, so that we can connect to the URL. So now we will now do our collection. So this is our collection here. Our function .net. Sorry, our function innet. So in this place now, we will do our collection. How do we do it? We will initialize the database connection to specify the connection. Then we will now do the connection. The collection is in strings. So that is what we'll be doing here. Then in that we will now do self dot connection and then self dot database. So that is how we'll do this. Then we will now do the function, seed function. In this seed function, we will do seed function connection with a specified number of monster documents we want. That is what we're doing here. So when we do that, we will now return true if the seed was successful. If the seed was successful, it will return true. So that is what it will be doing here. The monster. So we will now create a variable which is monster. Monster variable will bring us a kind of a document, a document in a range of amount. Then we will return the collection. So that is what we'll be doing here. Then I will have to develop another function again. We call reset function. So when we do a reset function, this reset function will delete all documents from the collection. Then it will return if it is successful, it will return true. So that is what we'll be doing in this aspect. Then in this aspect, we'll now have to create another function which is a count function. In this count function will count the number of documents in the collection. So it will count all the number of documents in the connection. So we are returning a integer, yes, int, number of documents in the collection. That's what we'll be returning. So after that, we'll now create a function called data frame. We'll create a function data frame that will collect all the documents together, and then we will retrieve all the documents as pandas data frame. That's what we'll be doing here. So when we have done that, we will return the data frame containing all the documents we have collected. So that is what we'll be doing. So having said that, we will now do a HTML. In this HTML function, we're going to generate HTML table representation of the collections of the collection data. So that's what we'll be doing here. And then this HTML will return HTML table string, or if none, it will be empty. So that is what we'll be doing. Then lastly, okay, not lastly, we're going to do a def function. We're going to do a function that if it is empty, it should return null. Null. Then if the data frame is empty, it should return none. That's what we'll be doing here. So now, lastly, we'll do our if function. This if function, so function, we we return our database for us, then do a reset, and then seed 1000. If you remember from our objective, we are asked to generate a seed that will generate 1000 seed count. So that's what we're doing here, 1000 count. So from what we have so far, we are going to we are going to I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Let's check what I've done so far and see whether it will generate the 1000 seed. So let me share another screen here that will show that. Okay. Okay. Okay, look at it here. If you can see my screen, you can see we have a thousand. Let me refresh. So you can see we have monster count, which is 1000 counts. You can see it here. Look at it. So look at it. 1000 counts. So that is it. You can see it here. We have we have green fairs as a monster. So if you check, you will find out the ranking, the rarity, the damage, the health, the energy, the sanity, and the time stamp. So that is what we have there. So that is what we have. So that is what we have. Okay, so that will be all for now. You will continue.